Hey YouTube, Sam here. I got a little update on my 12-ton shop press. I haven't used it a whole lot or anything like that yet, but there is something about it that I'm a little annoyed about. I went in actually to return something else to Harbor Freight, and one of my biggest concerns was this bottle jack just floating in here. I mean, you can just pull it right out of it, and I just don't like that. It's kind of annoying. I'm definitely going to have to do something about that. But in my video I talked about if it only had a bigger plate here to sit on and maybe something to screw, that bolted it down to that plate. Well, lo and behold, I walk in to take back that other item, which I'll have a video on. Go check that out if you're interested in guns. You ought to watch it. Anyhow, and I walked by this, the one that was there, and I noticed there's a plate underneath it with a bolt. And I bought this like the day before I had walked into Harbor Freight. I've only had it for a couple days now. The next day I actually went back to take back that item, and I walked by and I saw that there was a plate there and it was bolted down. Also, right here they had one piece that was kind of like just a one beam here. So actually I like this better. This looks sturdier than what they had there, to be honest. But this part was bolted down to a plate. They had a plate and a bolt through it. And also this piece here was a little bit shorter, which I kind of had a concern about this bending. And it was actually cut a little shorter, and it had the plate here. Everything else was pretty well close to the same. It actually also had some bars, which I'm definitely going to do with this one. Down on the bottom, I know you can't see that. Let me... down there, that went from here down to here, just kind of an extra bars that went across there. And I thought, hey, you know what, I bet I got the older version, and they just gave me one of the boxes that was left over from some of the older versions. Well, so I go and ask them, I say, hey, is there any way it's mostly the same, can I just replace this part and this part? And they talked to me or talked to their managers, and basically what it ended up happening is they told me, and I don't know if this is true, but I was told that this is actually the newer version. That what was out there on their floors was the older version that actually has the plate here. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. So it's going to be the luck of the draw, and honestly, I think this one actually does look a little sturdier, except for that part. Otherwise it's pretty much the same except for this, and I like this part better on mine. And they also told me that they couldn't just trade it out with the parts on the display model, because they don't own the display model or something like that. I don't know. Anyhow, I thought you should know, you should keep an eye on it. I know I can fix this, I can make it right. I didn't pay a lot for it, so it's going to do the job that I want it to do, so I'm not super unhappy. But it is something that you might want to be aware, because if there is a newer version that has that plate, you should try and get it, because I do think that this is somewhat unsafe, and I will be remedying that myself. I found it funny that the way I said to fix it in my videos, the way they had it. So it would surprise me that this is the newer version, although it doesn't, because it's probably cheaper not to put a plate there and bolt it down. So it could just be for cost. This may be the newer version, I don't know. But you can choose for yourself whether or not you decide to bring it back and make sure you get the one that has the plate. I chose that I know I can do the work on this to make it safer, and honestly I think this one actually is a little bit sturdier than the other one, other than that. So I am keeping it, and regardless, I actually went to two different Harbor Freight stores by me, and both of them did give me the same story, that this is actually the newer one, and both of them said that they only had this one in stock, that they didn't have the display models. So there's a good chance, unless you're getting an older one or your store gives you the display model or whatever, that this is what you're going to wind up with. Alright, well, this is Sam, Jack of all, Master of none. You all have a good one.